Welcome to Open School, your key to unlocking knowledge. Today, we're diving deep into the world of proper nouns. These aren't just your everyday nouns, no. Proper nouns are the VIPs of the noun world. They're the names we use for specific individuals, places, or things. They stand tall and proud, always starting with a capital letter, regardless of where they are in a sentence. Think of it like this: if all nouns were a bustling city, proper nouns would be the skyscrapers. They're distinctive, they stand out. They're not just any building or any person. They're the Empire State Building, Barack Obama, the Grand Canyon. They're specific, they're unique. So in essence, proper nouns are the specific names we give to people, places, or things. They're the stars of the show, the names that make our sentences meaningful and specific. Stay tuned as we delve into more about these linguistic superstars. Now that you understand what proper nouns are, it's time to look at some examples. By doing so, we can really get a feel for how they are used in everyday language. Remember, a proper noun is a name used for an individual person, place, or organization, spelled with initial capital letters. Let's start with names of people. Consider the names Michael and Sarah. These are perfect examples of proper nouns. They refer to specific individuals, so they are capitalized. Even if we have three people named Sarah in a room, each Sarah is a unique individual, hence the use of a proper noun. Now let's move on to places. Names of specific geographic locations like Paris or Mount Everest are also proper nouns. Paris refers to a specific city in France, and Mount Everest is the name of the highest peak in the world. These are not just any city or mountain, but specific ones with their own names. Lastly, we have brands. Brands are a great example of proper nouns as they refer to specific businesses or products. Take Apple and McDonald's, for instance. When we say Apple, we're not talking about the fruit, but the multinational technology company. And McDonald's isn't just a random fast food joint, but a specific chain known worldwide for its golden arches. It's important to note that not all nouns referring to people, places, or brands are proper nouns. For instance, girl, city, and company are common nouns. They don't refer to a specific person, place, or organization, but rather a general one. So, to recap, proper nouns are used to name specific people like Michael and Sarah, specific places like Paris and Mount Everest, and specific brands like Apple and McDonald's. They always start with a capital letter, no matter where they appear in a sentence. Those were a few examples to illustrate the concept of proper nouns. As we dive deeper into this topic, you'll start recognizing proper nouns all around you, in books, newspapers, and even in your everyday conversations. Understanding what proper nouns are and recognizing them in sentences are two different things. So how do you identify proper nouns? Let's delve into it. One of the most straightforward ways to identify a proper noun is by its capitalization. Proper nouns always start with a capital letter, regardless of where they are in a sentence. This is a fundamental rule that you can count on. Whether it's a person's name, a company's name, or the title of a book, if it's a proper noun, it will start with a capital letter. Let's look at an example. Last summer, Jane and I visited Paris. Here, Jane and Paris are the proper nouns. Notice how they both start with a capital letter, even though they aren't the first words in the sentence. That's your first clue. But what about sentences where the proper noun is at the beginning, like Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates? Here, Microsoft and Bill Gates are the proper nouns. They start the sentence and a new clause, respectively, so they would be capitalized anyway, right? Yes, but even if they appeared elsewhere in the sentence, they'd still be capitalized. Another way to identify proper nouns is by context. Proper nouns name specific, unique entities. If a word in a sentence is naming a specific person, place, thing, or idea, it's likely a proper noun. In our earlier example, Jane and Paris are specific entities, a particular person and a particular city. It's also worth noting that proper nouns do not generally have plural forms. For instance, you wouldn't say, "I visited two Parises last summer." So, to recap, identifying proper nouns can be as simple as looking for capitalized words that name specific, unique entities. Practice makes perfect, so don't shy away from reading and identifying proper nouns in your daily life. See, identifying proper nouns isn't as hard as you might have thought. You're now familiar with proper nouns, but there's still a common pitfall that you should be aware of. Let's talk about some of the common mistakes people make when dealing with proper nouns. The first one is forgetting to capitalize. Remember, proper nouns are specific names of people, places, or things. They always, and I mean always, start with a capital letter. It's not just a style choice, it's a rule. Secondly, there's the confusion between proper and common nouns. Proper nouns are unique, they're one of a kind, but common nouns? They're the general terms we use to describe a group of similar things. For example, mountain is a common noun, but Mount Everest is a proper noun. Now, how do we avoid these mistakes? Here's the magic formula. Be specific and always capitalize. If you're talking about your friend, it's John, not John. If you're mentioning a city, it's Paris, not Paris. And to tackle the proper common noun confusion, keep this in mind. If you're referring to any noun that's one of a kind, it's a proper noun. If it's a general term, it's a common noun. Practice is key here. The more you write and read, the better you'll get at distinguishing between these two types of nouns and using them correctly. With these tips, you'll be less likely to stumble over common mistakes involving proper nouns. It's time to wrap up our lesson on proper nouns. We've journeyed together through the definition of proper nouns, explored real-life examples, discovered how to identify them, and tackled common mistakes to avoid. It's not just about capitalizing words, it's about understanding their significance. This knowledge will aid in your linguistic journey, making the English language a bit less daunting. Thank you for joining us today at Open School. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more enlightening lessons. Keep learning and stay curious.